Good evening, Mr. Kenneth. How are you doing?
Good evening, Mr. T. I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing all right, thank you. So my name is Tatenda. I'm the head of unit for non-clinical programs at the Foundation for Professional Development. And I'm joined here with my colleague who will introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tolu Kenneth. I'm the Technical Support Administrator for Non-Clinical Programs at FPD. Mr. T, what brings us here?
So tonight we are going to be speaking a little bit about cybersecurity with a particular focus on the health sector.
Okay.
Yes. So to start, I would like you, Mr. Kenneth, to just explain to us what cybersecurity is.
Okay, before I can explain, I would like to say, are we all aware that information is the new property? I'm going to explain that a bit further. So basically, whenever we are talking about cyber security, we are talking about the practice of protecting our computers from digital attacks. And going back to what I said about information being the new property, information these days has a lot of value. So we always have people who are trying to gain access to our sensitive information so that they can use it for whatever that they want to use it for, which is not good in most cases. So since we are focusing on the healthcare sector, Mr. T, my question for you is, why is there a need for cybersecurity in the healthcare industry?
All right. So here is some statistics that might shock you, that might shock everyone actually. Last year in 2021, according to the World Economic Forum, more than 50 million patient records were stolen, which was an increase of 24%
More than
from
50
2020.
million.
Yes.
And it was an increase of 24% over 2020.
Yes, very true.
So
And
which means for 2022, it might be higher.
oh yeah, it might be. If we are not careful, it might actually be higher. And if you look in the healthcare industry now, take for instance, you've got your bank card, you've got your bank account. Imagine that being stolen. Immediately, you can run to your banking app and freeze the card and freeze the details and open a new one.
Of course.
But that is not the case with medical records.
What do you mean?
So once a lab test result or a diagnosis is leaked, it is no longer private. So the information is therefore impossible to negate.
Okay.
Yes.
That doesn't sound good.
And in some instances, even that data corruption can be life-threatening. So imagine someone tampering with electronic medical records or a networked medical device like, those insulin pumps, for example. These can interfere with patient treatment, which can result in injury or death even.
Okay, that sounds a bit scary. So just a quick question. Why is the healthcare sector a primary target for cyber attacks actually? Because, I mean, people can die and get injured.
So we've all probably been in hospitals before. So you know that when you go to a hospital, you give up, you register a lot of, you give them a lot of information there. There is critical and confidential data that you give them. That is not just limited to financial data. There is patients' protected health history, and then and also data relating to research and innovation. And these are worth a lot of money to attackers.
Okay.
Yes, and they can also be used for identity theft, healthcare insurance fraud, and other malicious activities. And to explain that a little bit, I would like Mr. Kenneth, if you can help us in terms of that. Like, how exactly, since you are the IT guy, how exactly can these threat actors hack a system? What are some of the things that they can do?
So basically, there's quite a lot, but I'm gonna mention a few. So an example, how many of us in a single day we get emails from people that we don't know with an attachment which might say click here to actually win and. So basically, that's what we call social engineering. What those people are trying to do, they're trying to trick you into clicking into that attachment so that they can be able to install a malware into your computer to actually gain access to your computer and your data. Another way also, at the Hospitals, we can have a guy who can come and insert a USB into the computers of the hospitals. Basically, that USB might contain some malware, which might actually cause the computers at the hospital to actually be corrupted, which means a loss of data, or also they might gain access to that data through those malwares. And the last way that people always use, or let's say the bad guys these days that they actually use, is the webcam. So we live in a world where if a person can actually gain access to your webcam, they can see everything that you are doing on your screen, which means
Oh,
all the sensitive data that you actually saving on your computer, they are actually seeing it, like your password,
that's
email
very
address.
scary.
It is. It is very scary. Hence, now we have people that actually have a bit of a, let's say, a lead that they put to actually cover their webcam. That's a one way of how they can protect themselves
Oh
from
yes, I've
what
got
people are
mine. I've
using.
got mine. It came through with the laptop, so you can actually just close it there.
Ah, definitely. I'm sure that's a fancy laptop right there. So, Mr. T, just a quick question. How can organization protect themselves actually? Because we have mentioned that people can die, people can get injured if the wrong information gets to the wrong people.
No, that's very true. So I think firstly, it is very important for healthcare organizations to make use of these well-developed cybersecurity technologies, which can help them to minimize the risks of breaches, bugs, malfunctions, and so on. But
Mhm.
then, as you said earlier, a person can get an email, and then if you click a link, uh, they can corrupt the systems. So it is very important to educate and train workers on the workings of technologies and how they can make the best use of them whilst protecting their network.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead,
So
please.
regular training. So they need to do some regular training in the fight against cybercrime. So we need to do, simulating phishing attempts to your employees so that you can identify who can and cannot spot a well-disguised threat.
Okay,
And because so many employees are working from home these days, there is a
that
blurry line between home and work, which means that work gets done on personal devices and vice versa. And because of that, threat actors can gain access if those people are not very careful. And so the most important thing at the moment to note is that humans are at the center of cybersecurity, and we need to train them well in order to defend ourselves against cybercrime, so that they can become powerful agents of detection and prevention. Over to you, Mr. Kenneth.
So basically, what me and Mr. T are trying to say is that cybersecurity is a huge topic, and we just touched the surface. Cybersecurity is very important because everyone uses the internet, meaning that it affects everyone, even you, that you don't think it doesn't affect you. So hence, you need to train yourself. You need to learn as much as you can. You don't really have to be an expert, but the bit that you know, such as don't open emails from people that you don't know. Always try to have a lead on your webcam. That can actually prevent you from a lot of digital attacks.
Hmm. No, thank you, Mr. Kenneth, for your time. And to our viewers, see you next time with another interesting topic.